The Mets made a significant trade last week. Why might that portend even more moves to come? I'm Mets beat writer Anthony Dicomo, and we'll dive into that on this week's episode of Daily Bases. The Mets traded longtime pitcher Steven Matz to the Blue Jays this week for 3 pitching prospects: Sean Reed-Foley, Josh Winkowski, and Yennsy Diaz. All 3 have either pitched in the big leagues or are close to it, giving the Mets depth for 2021 and beyond. But make no mistake about it, this move was about salary relief for a Mets club that would still like to add pieces while staying under Major League Baseball's $210 million luxury tax threshold. The Blue Jays picked up every dime of Matz's $5.2 million salary, giving the Mets exactly the type of flexibility they need, either to upgrade their center field situation, Jackie Bradley Jr., for example, or their starting rotation. If the Mets do decide to add to their starting pitching mix, there's an obvious place for them to shop. Reigning National League Cy Young Award winner Trevor Bauer remains unsigned. The Mets have reportedly offered Bauer a deal, though not one that would allow him to pass Garrett Cole for the highest average annual value on a pitching contract in Major League history. Whether or not that's a deal breaker for Bauer isn't quite clear. All we know for sure is that the Mets are still looking for pitching, and Bauer remains unsigned. One change in the Mets front office hierarchy took place last week, when the team announced that Zack Scott would take over for Jared Porter as acting general manager. This won't affect the Mets day-to-day, as Scott, a longtime Red Sox executive, was already working hand-in-hand with Mets president Sandy Alderson. While Alderson will retain final say on all baseball decisions for the foreseeable future, Scott, one of 2 finalists for the GM job that originally went to Porter, could establish himself as the lead voice going forward and in future seasons. The Mets made one other player acquisition last week, signing lefty reliever Aaron Loup to a $3 million contract. The signing addresses a glaring hole in the Mets bullpen, which was much improved, but also decidedly right-handed. Loup has been one of the game's most consistent lefty specialists, holding lefty hitters to a .621 OPS over his 9-year career. You can pencil him into the Mets' opening day bullpen. Finally, Mets owner Steve Cohen is gone from Twitter. Cohen, whose hedge fund Point72 reportedly suffered a multi-billion-dollar loss in the wake of GameStop's fluctuating stock price, said in a statement that, quote, "misinformation unrelated to the Mets led to our family getting personal threats," end quote. Cohen did add in his statement that, quote, "I love our team, our community, and our fans, and that this week's events in no way affect our resources and drive to put a championship team on the field." And that does it for this week. I am Mets beat writer Anthony Dicomo, and this has been Daily Bases.